guys, Nary here from Drake Wing Gaming, so to me on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Nekojishi. So guys, I'm going to be a little bit quieter tonight. I just got home, it's like 11:27 p.m. I'm ready to bring you guys a little bit more content before I just relax, play some games, watch some videos, and head to bed. But guys, please sit back and enjoy for the next 18 minutes. We'll entertain you, and let's jump right in. Alarm saying you are up, and let's go. Okay. Alrighty. He begins to inspect all the different laptops and tablets. You can even see some of those newish convertible devices on display. To be honest, I'm not fully up to date on computers, so I go and try them out with him. Every now and then, Tiger picks up one of the laptops for a closer look, leaving a copy of the laptop sitting there on the table. Tiger, I wanted to ask you this before, so since you're holding that laptop right now, can you use it? Oh, using the laptop? Impossible. I can only touch the chi of the object. I can't affect the current or whatever is inside. If I had to, I could possibly use my powers to turn on the power switch. Even then, I still wouldn't be able to use it. What do you mean by powers? Well, it is possible to move objects. There just isn't much precision. Meaning typing would be difficult. Manipulating a smartphone is beyond me. I have no idea how to use that touchscreen thing. I'm not great with this stuff, but I sort of remember touchscreens work off static electricity or something. I think? In that case, it makes sense why he couldn't use them. So, if you hit a keyboard, at the very least you can move a mouse, right? So, with that, couldn't you use a computer anyway? Indeed, but since I can talk to you, asking you to do my bidding is much easier, is it not? So, you don't want to try to do it yourself? A computer? To be honest, I'm more interested in using a smartphone. Alas, I cannot. As it is, it's exhausting to use my powers to just operate a computer. It's not worth the hassle. So you won't use a computer because you'd get too tired? Simply put, yes. But if you can't use them anyway... Tiger is currently comparing the different devices between two tablets. If you can't use them, why are you so interested in them? It's how people communicate these days, even you, and especially that kitten. I want to know more about them. That's true. So, does watching us using our phones help at all? I'm not sure. I usually can't make sense of it. Although looking at all the technology here, I'm curious. What are the differences between each one? Well, let's see here. I try to explain the specifics to him as best I can. I'm not really enough of a techie to explain the details. I basically just end up repeating the information on the product cards. As you'd expect, it doesn't help much because he already read them. Eventually, I just explained to him they're just machines and people communicate using software downloaded onto them. Oh, so it's software on the phone. Alright. Let me see what you have on yours. Can I refuse your request? Whatever you have to hide, it doesn't matter. After all, I've seen everything to begin with. I didn't know about it before. There's really embarrassing stuff on there, you know. If you do this to me, it'd be just like a parent checking their kid's diary. How shameful of you. What's there to be shameful of? Well, fine. Just tell me the operating procedures of the software. Let me think for a second. Oh god, my nose is so stopped up, guys. If I use my phone, he'll probably be able to see some of my chat history. Maybe if I can distract him. Wait! We're in the smartphone section. There's literally dozens of phones to use in here. I mentally congratulate myself for my ingenious plan and go use a display model for my demonstration. Okay, firstly, did you know smartphones generally have one of two types of operating system? Each type can run different software from the other. Let me show you. In the process of introducing him to the operating systems of various phones, I can also walk him through some of the basic software. Though I rarely use all this stuff, all this information is new to him, who totally didn't understand how it worked until now. We end up trying a lot of phones. A clerk notices me and comes over to introduce some products. Since we're not here to buy anything, I have to decline their help and leave even though Tiger wants to stay. He probably understands that I can't talk to him with the clerk watching us. For me, it's a good opportunity to change the subject. With relief, we head to the appliance section. Thank God I don't have to explain anymore. Silly Tiger. Fortunately, Tiger also stops talking about phones for now and focuses on all the appliances around him. You can tell he enjoys just looking around here. He ends up asking me what each one was for when he didn't recognize them. I end up having to explain kettles, heaters, even air multiplier fans. Luckily, I already know enough about all this stuff. What is this cylinder-shaped container for? It's called a water boiler. It heats up and boils water. Once the water boils, it turns off. What is this? It appears to have a lot of lights. That's a heater. The lights produce heat when turned on. It's able to keep a room warm, even when it's cold outside. It's useful in winter, but I can't afford the electricity to run one. I agree, it sounds very useful. With this, you wouldn't catch a cold, would you, Liao? No need to worry about me. I have enough clothes to keep me warm. I understand. What is this strange circle for? This is, well, it's called an air multiplier fan. I don't really understand how it works. A fan? What principle lets it produce wind without blades? I don't quite know. It pushes wind inside the ring to produce wind, I think. They don't need to be round either. See, that one's a rectangle. Honestly, I don't think it's much better than a normal fan. How amazing! How about this one? Honestly, I thought he'd be more surprised to find out it was a fan. That's an induction cooktop. Oh, wow. What a picture. Hello, thumbnail. A cooktop. So you're telling me you can cook with this? I know it looks really different from a stove, but yes, you can cook with it. It's powered by electricity, so you don't need fuel, and it can be much smaller. See, if you put a pot on one of the circles, it heats up. He moves around to look at the induction cooker from a variety of angles, clearly intrigued by it. Say, could you make a stir-fry on this? Huh? This one's probably not big enough. You could boil some food, though. Really, I don't know if I could do a stir-fry or not. It's not like I've used one before. Maybe it might be possible. So, if it's only able to cook boiled food, why not just use a gas stove? Because gas ones are inconvenient to use. For example, I don't have a kitchen in my apartment, but I can make hot pot at home with this stove as long as the meat and vegetables are prepared. Therefore, it's more convenient. Have a hot pot at home. He nods, his head in agreement. Let's buy one. It's way too expensive. Really? Let me take a look. It's quite acceptable. It's far cheaper than all those smartphones. Of course it would be. But the phones are much smaller. It doesn't work like that. Heaps of small things can cost more than larger products because they're harder to make. I mean, not everything is like that, but you get the idea. I don't want to buy one anyway. Do you not enjoy hot pots, Liao? That's not what I mean. Wait, it doesn't even matter to you even if I made a hot pot. You couldn't eat it. No matter what you presented to me as a sacrifice, I would eat it. I've never had a hot pot before. It doesn't mean I need to cook one for you. Wait, why do you even want one if you've never had one before? Your family used to have it for dinner. I've been eager to taste one for myself for some time. So you saw it back at home? I guess that makes sense, but why not eat it back when we had it for dinner? If it's not provided as an offering to me, I can't eat it. A god shouldn't steal food from humans now, should they? I mean, it's not like anyone would notice you eating the chi. That's not the issue. There's no way a god would consume the food that hasn't been provided to him as an offering. Otherwise, we'd be no better than beggars. Sorry, I didn't mean it like that. I know, Liao, I'm not mad. I just believe you need to have more respect for the gods. Be sure to never say that to another god, okay? Yes, I'll keep that in mind. I'm very sorry. One second, guys. Oh, good lord, okay. Yes, I'll keep that in mind. I'm very sorry. Woo. Yes, Tiger Daddy, I'm sorry I have offended thee. I'm glad to hear. Since you're such a good boy, how about you buy that induction cooktop for me as an apology? Well, I can't. My budget is tight as it is this month. Ha! It's fine, I was just kidding. Now, what's next? That is a good picture. Tiger stops scolding me and moves on to look at the next appliance. I said something I shouldn't have. I messed up. Even though I don't understand everything about how gods consume food, what I said was totally brainless. I'm a child from a Jitong family. How can I not show basic respect for him? Feeling guilty, I look through the other appliances with him. I need to make it up to him sometime. Eventually, we all see the products on the first floor, then head to the second floor, where I have the chance to get some groceries. It's surprising to see so many snacks here. I don't recognize many of these. Indeed, since snacks are usually presented to gods as sacrifice, I'll get you what you want. Any that interest you? I don't really want any myself, but this is a good chance to get him something as an apology. Senpai's back home to help me eat this stuff anyway. If that's the case, I'm not familiar with most of these. I'm with this one. No, this one. And that. Isn't this a bit much? It's okay if you don't wish to purchase so many, Liao. I just want to taste them after all. Huh. I'm trying to apologize to him even if it cuts into my budget, but I should get what he wants. I take each snack he points at and place them into my basket. Just for him to go around asking for more. Liao, is this a pancake? No, look at these egg rolls. Hey, Liao, they've got free samples of beef jerky here. Without protest, I put everything he wants into the basket. They even have pudding here. Oh, look at these frozen steamed buns. So, these are chicken nuggets? I decided not to get the frozen buns and grab the pudding instead. Even if Tiger wants them, we don't have a microwave. This way. Hey, Liao, look. They have fried chicken. This place is food cooked and prepared for lunches. It's pretty normal for them to have chicken. The prepared food in supermarkets isn't that good anyway. Really? What a pity. He seems disappointed. I prefer to eat downstairs in the food court anyway, and I've already spent loads of money on the snacks. How about we get fried chicken for dinner? Okay. Silly tiger. I just agreed to eat out for dinner. There goes my budget for this week. Afterwards, we have dinner in the food court before heading home. I can't believe how much money I spent today. Senpai's surprised when I asked him to help with the snacks I got Tiger. You want me to eat this? No way, that's gross. Huh? Why? It's so different to you. You said it yourself. Even if the cheese is gone, it doesn't matter to normal people. I'm not a normal person. I'm also a god. For me, eating food consumed by another god is like eating something covered in someone else's saliva. No way. Saliva. How rude of you. Regardless, I'm not eating that. If I wanted to eat something I have chewed, you wouldn't do it, right? Indeed. I remember now. Back in the cafeteria, Tiger and Leopard refused to share food as well. So, if that's the case, crap. I assume Senpai would help me out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have let that tiger get so much. What do I do now? Will I have to live on these snacks until I finish them? Aww. Sunday. I hope I'll finally have a nice, relaxing day off. Though, with these 3 cats still around, I doubt they'll leave me alone. Liao, how about we go shopping today? Keep me company. After yesterday, I'd like to spend the day reading. Sure enough, I don't think I'll get my quiet day off. What do you want to do? Say no. Nah, I was out all day yesterday. I want to take a break. After all, it's my weekend. What? But you can sleep in on Monday. Aren't your classes all the afternoon? It's not the same. I want to just spend the whole day at home, thanks. Jeez, what are you, an old man? You should act your age. You're a cute, young, energetic college freshman after all. Whatever, I'm just gonna go and be lazy now, alright? Not going outside? As I just said, I'm going to be here and spend the whole day laying around. Enough, there's no need to force him. Oh, not fair. I wanted to go out and have a date with the owl. Ignoring their protests, I spend the whole Sunday lazing around, sleeping, daydreaming, and surfing the net. After that weekend, my new college life living with 3 big cat spirits pretty much began for real. I come and go from school as usual, but for the most part, my life has been turned on its head. I mean, I've never wanted an ordinary, boring life, but I know for a fact no other college students have to deal with this. I've tried my best to keep things normal, but people still catch me talking to myself, and, well, those rumors aren't great. I didn't have many friends at school as it stood, and that doesn't help to make things better. Luckily, I can handle classes by myself. As far as club goes, the other guys still don't buy that there's nothing going on between me and Senpai. I don't even bother taking them on about it anymore. I've just learned to be okay with it. After all, getting rid of Senpai is mission impossible. All in all, I still can't say living with these cats is something I've gotten used to. My room isn't big enough to give me any privacy. After all, I've got certain needs, you know? In the end, there's nothing else I can do but try to survive this. Besides, it's not like everything is to hate about it. I mean, it's hard not to find some enjoyment from living with 3 hot guys all the time, right? Yep. These animations are super adorable. That day, I was going to the bookstore to see if there was anything I would want to pick up and read, for myself and partially at the request of a certain guardian tiger. Senpai had a class, so he didn't come with. Of course, Tiger was with me, but Leopard left as soon as we started browsing the shelves. I guess he doesn't really have much interest in it, especially considering he can't read Chinese. So it was just Tiger and I, browsing about the literature section as usual. I was keeping an eye out for a certain collection of short stories, but couldn't see it on the shelves. Instead, I resorted to looking around for anything that catches my interest. I checked over a few book covers, but none struck my tastes, so I kept browsing along down the shop, finding myself in a corner that I don't recall ever paying attention to before. Liao, may we take a look over here? Tiger suddenly seemed very interested in a certain bookcase. I went over to see what was so curious about it. Huh? Oh, textbooks! I'm surprised at Tiger's interest in these school textbooks. It just looks like boring study material tome. Oh, a book for mobile phone development, And this one seems to be a tutorial on computer systems. You seem confused. I am merely interested to discover how all your technology works. Do you believe we could find that type of resource here? Oh, maybe. Let's see. It took a while, but I finally found a book about the development of computers. Flipping through some pages, it looks like it has chapters on computer history, the development of the internet, and other related topics. I'm not too sure about Tiger's grasp on physics, but it seems like the explanations are given through analog stories. I'll probably get the gist of it. Give this one a go. If that's what you want, I'll try to find some more. Certainly. The guardian tiger reaches for the book, pulling out its chi form, proceeding to flip through a few pages. Not a terrible book at all. Liao, did you end up locating the book you were searching for? Not yet. I'll keep looking for a bit. I believe I'll keep flipping through this one for now. Good luck. Okay, have fun. Tiger paces over to a table and sits down, pensively reading his newfound textbook. Turning back to the literature section, I pick out a book to read. I promised that I'd wait for Senpai to finish class so we could walk back together, so I might as well do something while I'm waiting. I read my book, occasionally glancing over to see Tiger absorbed in his. As the hours passed, I was about halfway through the novel, but he was almost at the back of the cover of his book already. There's no way my novel is bigger than that textbook. How did he read that so fast? With a satisfying thump, Tiger closes the book. He then gets up to grab another from the shelf. Some time passes before I finish my book. Just as I do, Senpai finally calls me. Huh, worked out nicely. Oh, Senpai, we're pretty much done at the bookstore. I'll be over in like 5 minutes. Okay, I'll wait for you in the cafeteria. I quickly finish reading the last few pages. It was actually written quite well. I take a moment to ponder my feelings about the book, not even noticing that Tiger is still reading across from me. I guess he ended up finding another book. Tiger, it's time to go. Oh, yes. After being told that we need to leave, he promptly closes the book in his paws, though he seems a bit dejected about having to stop. You only just started reading that one. Why not buy it if you want to keep reading that later? Can we? I asked Tiger to show me what book he was reading. It's not cheap. The price is a bit... If it is that expensive, then we shouldn't buy it. I can see the disappointment behind his words. Yes. How about this? If we get the book, we can just save money elsewhere by not buying as much junk food for you. Perfect. Tiger is clearly embarrassed. So, would you rather get this book or some more junk food? I prefer the book. Knowledge is worth more than excess food, after all. I yearn to keep up to date with the kids of today. I don't really think that's the type of book kids would be reading, but to each their own. For someone like Tiger who doesn't understand a thing about modern technology, he'd learn some useful stuff from it anyway. Bracing my wallet, I decide to take the book over to the cashier. Thank you, Liao. I shall cherish this book. Just as long as you don't be a guts for dinner, all right? Of course. I'll strive not to. Yeah. Oh God. Oh God. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna pause it right here. I only had like 10 seconds left. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and pause it. I'm tired. My throat is sore. I'm going to be going to bed soon. Alright, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you're super thanks, or tip if you can. It always helps. Until the next video, I love you all. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye!